Hi, uh, in this tutorial I'm going to discuss about operators in Java. The most important and most trickiest part is the operators. So first, before going into the types of operators, we should understand three terminologies, the basic terminologies. You should know what do you mean by an expression or a statement, and next, what do you mean by operator, and the third one is what do you mean by an operand. Okay, these three things you have to be very clear with. So first one, what is an expression or a statement? So let me consider an example of 2 plus 3. Now the expression means exactly the same thing 2 plus 3. And what is the operator used? The operator used is plus here. So plus going to tell us we are going to do addition or add operation. And what are the operands available? So operands means the values which supports your operator. Here the values are 2 and 3. So we are going to perform addition operation only between these two in this take an example. Yes, so this is what the operands means. So based on the operands, we can classify these the following operator types into three categories. We will discuss that in the later part. So now moving on to the types of the operators, we have nearly 10 types of operators. So I'm going to divide the types of operators into small videos so that it will be very easy for you people to understand, right? And so the first type of operator what we are going to discuss is assignment operator. So before going into any type of operators, you should know what are the things you should learn, or what is the outcome you should have once you learnt any type of operator. So first you should know the name of the operator, the second one the symbols used inside that particular operator, and what is the count of the operator, and what is its order of execution, and what is the return type. Yes, these five things are most important things you should aware of. And also, in addition to these five, you should know the precedence and the associativity. But those things we will see it in the later videos. Fine. So we are going to discuss one operator along with an example, and we are going to map everything or update all the data corresponding to the particular operators here. So initially I am taking the first operator. Our first operator is assignment operator. Assignment operator. So what is the symbol used for assignment operator? It is equal to. We all know somehow or the other we people might have used this equal to operator. So what is the purpose of equal to operator? Maybe I am considering I equal to 10. Yes. Now, what do you mean by I here? I is the variable name. And what is this 10? 10 is the value which I'm going to update for the value I. Yes, right? So this 10, the value will be updated to variable I. So the operator is equal to. Fine. Now what are all the operands we are using here? We are using I and 10. These things are your operands, right? And next is you should know the order of execution. So I comes in the left side and 10 comes in the right side. Okay. So what do you then now tell guess the order of execution. Always your assignment operator uses the right side value and update it into the left side value. So the order of execution is right to left. Fine. And we will go with a simple example using NetBeans IDE. So here I am using yes int I equal to some, or I'm just declaring the data type for in I as int, and what is the next step is I'm going to assign value for I, and I'm just sorry printing the value of I. Now what I will get the value as 10, right? The value of I. So if I execute this, sorry, 1 minute, I have done a typo. Yes. Now the value of I is 10. Yes, look at this output and you will get to know the value of I is 10. Right? Now, instead of giving 10, I'm giving 10.23. Now what happens here? ID is showing an error. Why? This one, the red mark denotes error in the IDE. Okay, so here why it is not accepting? Because the data type declared is int, but the value which we assigned is double. So it will not accommodate the double value inside an int value. So it is showing us the error. You should correct it, only then you will able to get the answer. Fine. Okay, now we will fill this tabulation. The first one, what is the name of the operator? Assignment operator. What is the symbol used? It is equal to. How many number of operands we have? 2. And what is the order? Sorry, it is right to left. And what is the return type? Return type should be same as your declared type, as your declared type. Okay, if you declared int, then give the int value. If it is a float, then give the float value. That's it. Okay, and the next type of operator is arithmetic operator. Next type is arithmetic operator. Okay, so under arithmetic operator, we are going to learn nearly five operators: plus, minus, multiplication, division, and modulo. So all these four things you people are very familiar with. So let me go from the initial one. Okay, first plus. So plus means if I am doing 2 plus 3, I know the it is going to perform addition operation. Next, if it is 2 minus 3, it will give the negative number as minus 1. Next, 2 into 3, it is 6. And next is division operation. Maybe I'm taking simple value 3 by 3, it is 1. Yes, and for modulo operator, if I'm giving the operator symbol used as percentage, similar to the percentage, yes, the answer will be 0. Why? We know how addition is done, subtraction, multiplication, and division, everything. But we are not sure about the modulo operator. Let me give you a simple example and simple understanding of what you mean by the modulo operator. So I'm taking 3 and 3 and I am dividing it. Now what happens? 3 into 3 is 3. The remainder will be 0. So whenever you are doing modulo operator, it will take the remainder. Okay? If you are doing modulo operator, then it will take the remainder. If you are doing division operation, then it will for division. It will give the quotient for division, right? Quotient. Okay. Any doubts in this? So that is why this percentage, this modulo yields the output 0 and divide yields the output 1 because it is the quotient and this one is the remainder. Yes. Shall I execute the same example in the IDE? So I'm just doing system.out.println 2 plus 3. The same thing I'm going to copy it for 5 times minus, and this is multiplication, and 3 divided by 3, and it is 3 modulo 3. Yes, shall I execute it, and I will give some contents for clarity. Okay, add, sorry, I'm making the program just more readable, that's it, nothing to worry. Sorry, brackets are needed. So here also brackets are needed, and the same thing, subtraction, multiplication, brackets needed, and division, and maybe modulo. Okay, if I execute, then look at the output, 5 minus 1, 6, 1 and 0. Yes, so this is how your arithmetic operators perform. And one more thing to understand here, if I am using two variables with the data type, int a equal to 10, int b equal to 2. Now I'm going to add a and b. Okay. Now what data type you will assign for C? Yes, always you should use the data type, right? So I'm going to assign the highest data type. So here, what is the memory requirement for int? It is 4 bytes. Int is 4 bytes. So the same 4 bytes will be allocated here. Okay. And I'm just deleting all the things, and I'm printing C alone. Okay. Now what happens? You are getting the output. But what if instead of int you are giving double as the value? Yes. Now what happens? Your IDE will not give you the output. It will show the error. Why? Because the data type for int is 4 and the data types for double is 8 bytes. So here, which one should come? 8 bytes should come. Okay. Now if I execute it, you will get the answer. And one more thing to notice, if it is a float data type, it is having same 4 bytes. But still, I cannot give int as the declaration in declaration. Why? Because here the representation for integer and float, even though it is occupying the same bytes of memory, the internal representation is different. So always if you are going to compare integral data type with your float data type, then you should follow the float notation. Okay, floating point notation. Yes. So this is what all the small uh, tips to understand your operator. So next we are going to fill this tabulation, arithmetic operators. So in arithmetic operators we are going to focus on plus, minus, multiplication, division and modulo. And how many operands you need? It is 2. And what is the order of execution? It is left to right, and maybe highest memory data type will be considered. Data type considered. Okay, so that's all about the arithmetic operators. Next is the relational operators. The operators used in relational is This relational operator is just going to compare your values. Less than, greater than, less than equal to, greater than equal to, double equal to, and not equal to. Fine. So it is going to make the comparison possible. So 2 less than 3. What is the output it will give? The output is here, it is checking a condition. Always if you check a condition, then either it should return true or false. That is always your relational operators is going to give the output in the boolean format. Okay, note it down. So 2 less than 3. True or false? It is yes. Obviously 2 is less than 3. So here comes true. And 2 greater than 3. It is not. It is not. The condition fails. So we are writing it as fail. And 2 less than or equal to 2. No, it is not. So false. Sorry. Yes, it is less than or equal to. So it is true. And 2 greater than or equal to 3. So what is the answer? It is false. An equality operator to double equals true. If it is the case, then it will return true. Okay. And 2 not equal to 2, then it is telling, read it as a normal sentence. So 2 not equal to 2. Whether the condition is true? No, the condition is not. So it fails. Okay. So the same thing we are going to apply it in the IDE. So I'm deleting everything here. And for the first one, 2 less than 3. I'm copying everything. Sorry. And changing the values alone. Greater than 3, and it is less than or equal to 3, and it is greater than or equal to 3, and it is double equals to, and it is not equal to. Yes. Okay. The order will be, first one is true, next is false, next is true, next is false, true, and false, right? So if I execute, yes, look at the output, the same order you are getting. Yes, true, false, true, false, true, and false. Yes, this is what your relational operator means. Now we will fill this tabulation relational operator. Here less than, greater than, less than or equal to, greater than or equal to, double equal to, and not equal to. Yes, so not equal to means not equality operator. So here in this example, if I vary the number, 2 not equal to 3. Now the statement is exactly true. It will give you the output as true. True. Okay. And how many number of operators it needs for execution? So the first operator less than needs two operands. The same thing for all the others. So the count of operators is 2. What is the order of execution? It starts with left side and ends in the right side. And what is the data type or the return type used? It is Boolean. Okay. Any doubts in this? If you have any doubts, please post it in the comment. I will clarify that to you. So this is about the relational operators, and the next operator is ternary operator. Ternary operator. So the symbol used for ternary operator is question mark and colon. Yes, to understand this, it is very easy. Look at this one. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a condition. Okay. I'm going to create a condition whether 2 is less than 3 or not. Yes. And I'm putting a question mark that is represented as the question or the condition 2 less than 3. True true or false. You have to check that. If it is true, then it should print the value 10. If it is false, it should print the value 20. Yes, so this is how you are going to write a ternary operation. So how it will do the execution is, first it will check the condition. If the condition turns to be true, it will come to the first value after question mark. If the condition turns to be false, it will come to the second value. Now check the condition. 2 less than 3. It is true. The condition is true. So it will print 10. Now I'm just giving some other condition. Maybe 2 not equal to 2. This is also one of the condition. So here I'm printing 33 and 44. Now the condition turns to be false, so it will come to the end. Yes, this is what your ternary condition will do. And I'm taking the IDE and I'm typing one condition. The condition is true not equal to 2. Fine. Now I'm putting question mark here and I'm printing 33 colon 44. Yes, so here if the condition turns to be true, then it will print 33. If the condition turns to be false, it will print 44. Yes, so here 2 not equal to 2. It is a false statement, so it is printing the one which is at the end, the value which is available at the end. Now, if I am changing the condition as 2 equal to 2. Now check this. The answer is 33 because the condition turns to be true. Whenever it is true, it will print the value after question mark. Whenever it is false, it will print the value after colon. Okay. So simply you can write the syntax as condition question mark true value question mark false value. If it is true, the one which is after question mark will get executed, else after colon will get executed. So this is the syntax for writing your ternary operator. And now we have to fill the tabulation for ternary. So what is the symbol used? It is question mark and colon both together. And how many number of operands you need? So look at this one. The number of operands. For condition, you should need one operand. For true value, you should need another. And for false value, you need the third one. So in total, you need three operands for its execution. And what is the order of execution? The order of execution is right to left. And what is the return type of it? It is based on the operands, right? Based on operands, right? Okay. And next, the last one in this tutorial is about shorthand operators. Shorthand operators, the operators used are the combination of your arithmetic operator and assignment operator. For example, what are all your arithmetic operators? Plus, minus, multiplication, division, and modulo. Yes, you are going to combine everything with the equal to. So we are going to write it in a short manner. For example, consider an example as int I equal to 2. Now I want to perform I equal to I plus 2 or I plus 1 or I plus 3. Now in short I can write it as I plus equal to 3. Yes, which in turn denotes the same thing available here. So the output of the second statement is also 5. And also, if I replace the second statement with the third statement, the answer will be the same. Okay. So now I'm just doing this. Int I equal to 2. And what I'm going to do is I plus equal to 3. Now I am printing the value of I. Okay. So look at this. The value of I is 5. It is elaborated as I plus 3. Right. So you can replace plus equal to with any other arithmetic operator symbols operators. Okay. And we have to fill this shorthand operators. It is always the arithmetic symbol plus your assignment operator and slash equal to and percentage equal to. And what is this? It is the count of operands are 2 and always executed from left to right. And the shorthand operator is also based on the operands. Okay. I hope you got some clarity of about all the types of operators. Yes, and these things you have to understand this tabulation clearly. If you still have any doubts, please post it in the comment. I will clarify your doubt. Thank you.